Welcome back. My name is AlexBeltran, your real estate, triathlon, and travel channel, I guess. Today we're talking about Airbnb, and you know what? I'm not going to bury it. I actually like what Airbnb has started. But, it's very obvious that Airbnb, as of late, has gone off the rails and everyone feels it and everyone knows it. So this is my love letter slash frustration letter slash my tough love letter, right? Because I've been a happy guest, a frustrated guest, a host, a real estate investor, and now I am just sitting on the sidelines observing and wondering what happened. I've been an Airbnb fan basically from the beginning. See, I make up a lot of dumb reasons to travel. Hence the last video where I went all the way to Germany to touch a bike. Linked above. Airbnb used to be pure magic, and I would say in neighborhoods that hotels simply wouldn't touch. Ostia Antica outside of Rome, Lund instead of Malmo, Chapala instead of Guadalajara, and Tulum before it turned into a trust fund baby ayahuasca sipping capital of the world. By the way, I'm talking about the expats, not the locals. The locals are awesome. Back when cleaning fees actually paid for cleaning. Good times. Very good times. The checkout list was always a thing, but it was light and no one docked your rating because you forgot to run the dishwasher. Fast forward till today and we're doing all the host's work and still paying that cleaning fee. And look, I get it on the side of the host, why they would want it that way. But like this whole rating system of the guest has really turned this whole thing into this high stakes game of chicken and middle school drama between the two. No bueno. That's not very hospitable. This is a message to all the hosts, all right? You signed up for this voluntarily. And with that, you agreed to the fact that occasionally there's gonna be some messy guests. So don't be surprised when the chickens come home to roost. That's part of the deal, and if that stresses you out, there are far easier ways to cash flow a property. Check out my midterm rentals, linked above. Here's a fun fact. A lot of hosts got into this, at least here in the US, because their CPA gave them a phone call and said, "Hey, CPA here, short-term rentals count towards your real estate professional hours." I'm not hating, I understand a good tax strategy, but what that means is that a bunch of 9-to-5ers are running Airbnbs on nights and weekends. Hospitality isn't a side gig, it's a lifestyle. And I learned that the hard way because I used to work overnight room service at Mr. C Beverly Hills, part of the Cipriani family. You wouldn't know anything about it. The people who kill it in the hospitality world live it, which is why I don't do short-term rentals. And it isn't just me. Airbnb sees this problem, which is why their new advertisement and commercials and everything is geared towards experiences and services.
Homes, experiences, and services. Now you can Airbnb more.
Right now, the only hosts that are crushing it are the ones that are delivering unreasonable hospitality and offering those experiences and services already. And until Airbnb creates standard operating procedures, hotels are going to continue to dominate the hospitality space because they are built for and trained for hospitality. And they're also a lot better at lobbying the local government. So there's that. Now let's flash forward till today and then flash back a couple months to September of 2025. I went to Europe for 3 weeks. I used Airbnb one time and it was the single worst experience of my entire vacation. You have to keep in mind, Europe doesn't have air conditioning. Europe doesn't have ice water. Europe doesn't have elevators. And worst of all, they don't have free bathrooms. Toilet in Europe, here in America, we call them bathrooms or restrooms. Just so you know. I flew from the Midwest to Paris and ultimately ended up staying in Torcy. How I found that was through booking.com, then doing a little bit of an extra Google search and finding the owner directly and booking through them directly. Why Torcy? Well, simply put, it's so close to Disneyland and then very easy to get in and out of Paris proper, where like the Eiffel Tower and all that stuff is. And then it was super easy to get to the Versailles Palace or the Palace of Versailles, whichever way you pronounce it. After spending a couple days in the Paris area, I gladly got on a train over to Germany and ended up stopping in Cologne. Since I was gonna be in Cologne, Germany for like a day and a half, it was just easier to book a hotel there. I ended up booking directly at the hotel website, which was Classic Hotel Antonius, where the front desk guy, amazing, gave me a free beer, set up my sauna session, and also recommended me a great bar with amazing beer. Of course, I had to have a sausage at that point, right? It's Germany and lots of beer. Overall, it was an amazing stay at this boutique hotel. I was up at the top floor with an amazing view of the Kölner Dome. So shout out to Classic Hotel Antonius in Cologne. Hopefully next time I go, you guys give me a discount. Yeah. After an amazing day and a half in Cologne, Germany, I got on the train and went to Koblenz, Germany, where I did my little stunt with the Canyon showroom. Linked above if you want to check that out. But yeah, basically got to get my hands on Canyon bicycles, which I'm hoping to get sponsored. Sponsor me, Canyon. You know you want to. you want to. Look, Koblenz was phenomenal. I even checked out the local real estate because I was super eager to see what it would take to get myself a place there that I could possibly live part-time in. I will say a little bit of a sticker shock, however, still doable. It wasn't until I got on my train and then went to Stuttgart that I was like, you know what? I think I like Stuttgart a little bit more. And ironically, Stuttgart is the place where I had my one bad Airbnb experience. Surprisingly, I got to Stuttgart 2 hours early. And if you know anything about the Deutsche Bahn, you would be surprised that I got there 2 hours early as well. The train is always delayed for any given reason. So naturally, I send the host a message and let him know, hey, look, I'm here 2 hours early. Is there any way I can drop off my luggage? That way I'm not carrying it around town. And he quickly responds with, yeah, sure. Sends me a video of how to get to the apartment, which kind of weird, but okay, whatever. The apartment is basically across the street from the train station. Walk on over there, and it quickly turns into a maze to get into the actual apartment. Kind of a sketchy place, but whatever. I've been in some places before. I'm not too afraid of it. But once I get there, the door seems tampered. I end up opening the apartment and walking in, and it is an absolute mess. Beer cans everywhere. The bed is a mess. Stuff all over the floor. I walk over to the restroom and it seems like someone power washed it with feces. Probably not what you wanted to hear, but it's what happened, okay? And worst of all, the photos didn't match the listing. Like I mentioned before, I run my own portfolio of midterm rentals, linked above. I know how long it takes to clean up a place, and this place was not gonna be ready in time for check-in. It was very obvious. And look, I'm very pragmatic and I know the business, but still walking in there and seeing the apartment in that state, it kind of gave me the ick. My stay in Stuttgart was gonna be for several days, but even then I felt uncomfortable, but whatever. I kind of subdued that feeling and decided, okay, let me still give this host a shot. If he can send cleaners over and quickly clean the place up, whatever, it is what it is. Quickly shot him a message, crickets. So I did the next best thing and looked up what hotel was near me. Turned out it was a Hilton. Great, went directly to the Hilton website, booked the room, amazing. The downside is I had to walk about 1.5 miles with all my luggage in order to check in. It is what it is. Once I get to the room, calm down, sit down, and their clean furniture, I decided to give Airbnb a call and see what they could do about it. And then what do you know, 20 minutes before the Airbnb official check-in, the host starts blowing up my phone. Hey, can you take down the complaint? Can we're gonna send the cleaners right on over. And at that point, I just had to laugh. It was, so freaking funny. I just ended up giggling. I ended up calling my credit card company and just asking for a chargeback. Easy peasy. I left it at that. I didn't give them a negative review. I didn't want to go any further with the complaint. I just left it as is. Guys, I'm on vacation. I'm not looking for more problems. And more importantly, I'm not a Karen. Hilton ended up being like 50 times better than anything that apartment could have offered. To begin with, right outside was the tram stop, Budapestplatz, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, and right next door was this amazing mall which had Aldi downstairs for all the cheap, amazing food, and then upstairs a food court where the food was phenomenal. I mean, to be fair, food in Europe just tastes a million times better than anything that they sell here in the US, but you get the point. And the best part about the tram stop being right in front of the hotel was that I can come back all Sternhagelbusschen from Oktoberfest, get off the tram, and still magically find my way back to my hotel. That's the type of magic touch I like to see. After a few days in Stuttgart, ended up checking out of the Hilton, easy peasy, and then off to the last city in my stop, Zurich, Switzerland. In Zurich, booked with the host directly, made it that much easier, that much cheaper, and spent the last week of my vacation in Switzerland, which is actually my favorite country in Europe. Hard to beat Switzerland. Ended up going to all the little surrounding areas, went to the chocolate museum, ate fondue, all those little Swiss things. And oddly enough, in downtown Zurich, there was another Oktoberfest where I got a little sauced again. And I know what you're thinking. Just because you have one bad experience with Airbnb doesn't mean that the entire system is bad. And to you, I say, you're right. However, It's not just my experience. It seems to be an ongoing thing, and a lot of people are starting to realize this. Not just on the outside as guests, but on the inside as hosts, which is an insight that I also happen to have. I also list my properties on Airbnb because I have midterm rentals, linked above. Like I mentioned before, I have midterm rentals, and midterm rentals are fully furnished apartments or houses where your Wi-Fi and utilities and everything is covered throughout the duration of your stay. Typically, a lot of people stay between 3 to 6 months, sometimes a little bit longer, sometimes a little bit less, but at a minimum, it's a 30-day stay. And before you say, Alex, you just hate fees, that's all this is about. I will say, no, I'm in real estate, guys. Fees are like baked into the P&L sheet, right? Commission fees, finder's fees, you name it. There's a fee for everything. Literally, in the world of real estate. I have no problem paying fees. However, a system like PadSplit takes the first 2 weeks of your members' rent before they start paying you out. If you have a property management company, then they take a percentage of your profit every month as their fee. But when Airbnb starts charging me $600 a month for a 9-month stay, that's nearly $5,400 in fees. That's like 2.5 months worth of rent. That is out freaking outrageous. If Airbnb handed me a magic wand tomorrow, the first thing I would do is start creating SOPs, standard operating procedures. Hilton, Marriott, all these places, that's what they do. They go and inspect the properties, they pass, fail, put them on probation, whatever the case may be. Airbnb has to get out of Silicon Valley and put boots on the freaking ground, because hosts, I'll just stay quiet. Now, I understand that this is geared a little bit more towards midterm rentals, but they gotta stop with that variable pricing nonsense and just allow me to have a static price. And the last thing I would wave my wand to is to have Airbnb stop collecting the money. It should be done by the hosts through Stripe or whatever form of payment system that works best for them, as long as it is legitimate, because those fees were outrageous. Airbnb changed the game, no donut about it, but it was never meant to like go up against these, hospitality giants. It was meant to be like, oh, I have a spare bedroom. If someone wants to rent it, awesome, I make a little bit of extra money. It is what it is. But very quickly, it has now turned into the competitor of these big hospitality companies, and it is very clearly losing the experience and service game. Look, it may be valued a hell of a lot more than other hospitality businesses, but who cares about Wall Street if your actual everyday human experience is getting progressively worse and worse? I don't hate Airbnb. They are vital to the market. I want them to succeed. But Airbnb, you got to get your stuff together because investors are starting to look at alternatives. I'm hearing about this in my local Omaha area, and this isn't just us, it's the guests as well. Bottom line, I like to book directly with the hotel and directly with the host. It's just easier to do it and a lot cheaper at the end of the day. It seems to be the best move right now, at least in North America and in Europe. So that's it, rant over. Let me know your Airbnb horror stories. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.